Okay, our First Alert weather team is working very hard. They actually had to run back down to the studio to get some more stuff going. But I am here with Jordan Burrell, and you were out on the roads
Yes,
for
I
our 90
was.
minutes of news, riding along to kind of see what the streets were like. How was it out there?
So, it was not too bad. There were a lot of cars out there, even though we've been advising you guys to stay off the roads. The police have been telling us stay off the roads. It's really, really, really important that you guys are staying at home because the roads are slick, they're slushy, and we saw a lot of people like sliding off, fishtailing when the light turns green, things like that. So, guys, stay home. Like, you got the day off, take the day off and stay home. Because we want you guys to stay safe, and not only safe, but dry. It's so wet out there.
Yes, and you can see this is I-496 right now. Thank you, Jordan, for not only going out there and seeing how the roads were for everybody earlier, but letting us know how they are now. And I am now with Andy Provenzano. How are you? I know you guys have been working really, really hard.
Yeah, we've known the storm's been coming for almost, a week, I think we've been talking about it. So, yeah, the roads the issue was we had temperatures around 33, 32.
Yeah, they were hovering.
So you get that slush, and whatever they're doing to the roads, if they put some salt down, it's effective.
Okay.
But now we're going to get temperatures going down to the mid-20s, especially in the overnight, and that's going to really change things. That will freeze, and then anything else that comes down will add on to it.
Okay.
So, yeah, I would say off the road. She's right. It's not good. And this kind of slushy snow, as I like to call it, greasy, where you hit the brakes and you just kind of keep going, or
Yeah.
you try to get going and you're spinning. It's like somebody greased the roads, and
Okay.
you even get better traction when it's just regular snow than this. But obviously, visibility, that's a concern as well.
And that's why we're on these First Alert weather days.
Yeah, it's not very often that, we do 3 in a row.
No.
But here we have our Friday, which obviously is for these periods of heavy snow this evening. And then Saturday, there's snow back in the morning, and then on again, off again snows off the lake, which means you could be seeing it flurry outside. Maybe you just got done dusting off the driveway or the back step, and all of a sudden a band goes through and you got to go out and do it again. Not to say it'll be 5 inches, but probably an inch or less, and that blows around. So that's what we got going. And then Sunday morning, still some good bands coming in off the lake, but it's more about the wind chills because the air temperature on Sunday is like 12, 15 degrees. And with these gusty winds, those wind chills will easily drop down to 15, maybe 20 below. In fact, I did a graphic. I didn't get a chance to show you. Maybe I'll do it at 11. The wind chill for those who are going to the Lions game at 6 o'clock should be about 18 below zero.
Oh my God.
Maybe,
Worth it.
It's that,
Worth it.
Yes, maybe if you got tickets to get inside, our sports guy is going to be outside, so we'll have to interesting see how
that's
that
right.
all works out, right? So that's going to be an issue. So this is the snow that's moved in late afternoon to the south and now moving north. So those darker blues is a pretty good clip of snow. It keeps adding to it, and then it lessens up. This snow is going to lessen up probably in southern sections, come around 9:30, 10 o'clock, and then work its way northward because the actual low is coming right at us. It's kind of like a hurricane.
I saw that earlier this
yeah.
week. It was like spinning like a hurricane.
So we'll actually be in the eye of that, which means we'll lose the winds and the snow, but within an hour as it goes north, it all comes back again, and that's what I mean about increasing the snow again by morning. We are still divided in half. Winter storm warnings to the west and northwest, winter weather advisory south-southeast. Just lesser snows in that area. Got blizzard conditions expected in Iowa, where they're getting it now. Green Bay, up to Marquette, and on over to Alpena, especially with these northeast winds. When they come over the lake, there's no friction. So I was checking the model for Mackinac Island. The wind gusts tomorrow on Mackinac Island can reach 55 miles an hour. So that's why blizzard conditions there when you get these really gusty winds that take place. So we still have our division here of the winter weather advisories, and also that will go till late afternoon tomorrow, and then we'll get involved again. So here's the I-496 Skycam, and I got to give people kudos. A lot of people have not been on it since this afternoon. Obviously, closing work early and schools early, it did the job so the plows can do their thing, which they'll keep doing. Look at the Skycam. Is there something missing, South Lansing?
Everything.
We're missing a big flag.
Oh, that's right.
This is Shaheen Chevrolet.
Yeah, we're supposed to have that big.
And you can see the snow still falling, but this is a guess because I didn't talk to Ralph, but they probably took it down.
Probably.
Because of wind gusts 40 plus makes the weight of that flag bend that pole. So obviously that's not going on. That's smart thinking by their part. So let's look at the high resolution model. This is what's going to go on in short term, but it's a little more sophisticated than some of the other models. So as we go through the next hour or so, we still have these bands going through, but do you see how it starts to lessen up? If you're a snow lover and you're looking out the window every 10 minutes like snow lovers do, you're going to go, where would it go? Well, it's going to go away as it goes northeast, so we have a nice break in this. This will give the plow guys a chance to get things accomplished too, so there's some good things there. But before we wake up, cold air's in. These snow bands, which originate in northern Lake Michigan, are going to come right down the lake and then curve our direction. There'll be a lot of moisture with these. There's going to be a lot of them that'll quickly lay down an inch or two, but there's going to be a lot of blowing and drifting. So that's the high resolution model for going into the morning hours. And then we'll carry these bands after that. Snow accumulations, it's going to be really hard after tonight to see how much more you get because it's going to blow around. You might have an area that drifts up and one that drifts clean. But in general, I think 3 inches as you head towards Detroit, 5 as you get into Jackson, and then you get 5 to 8 across northern parts of mid-Michigan, and those 8+ numbers are just out of our viewing area off to the north. In fact, I think the highest number I saw is a forecast for 14 to 18, maybe up north towards Alpena, so it's farther north. Here's the big story after that. Look at the cold air that is out there.
I was looking at Glendive and wow.
These are not, they're not wind chills.
No, that's actual temperature?
That's actual temperature. Now, living on this side of Lake Michigan, when the air comes over, the water heats it up a little bit. So we'll see temperatures, highs of 10, 11, 12. Where on the other side of the lake next week, they're going to have highs of 5, 6 degrees. So we get a little warmth out of that, which is always nice to have. So here's a wide view of the satellite and radar, and you can see there's a back edge to the snow. So as we mentioned, if you joined us last night on at 11 o'clock news, we talked about there'd be a big dry slot coming in before all the wraparound. So we're only a couple hours away from that, and you can see by 11 o'clock, most all of us done with the real heavy accumulating snow. And that kind of jiggly circle that stretches from the thumb down to Lake Michigan, that's the center of the low. So even the winds die down a little bit. The low then goes up into Lake Huron. Cold air comes pouring in, so it increases again. A couple hours before sunrise, these heavier snow bands go through, probably another inch or two out of that added to what falls this evening. And then from that point, it's all lake effect snow squalls, we call them. So you get a band coming in off the lake that quickly puts an inch down, maybe blows it around. And the concerns would be then Saturday afternoon, Saturday night and Sunday is the streets might have been brushed clean, and now another system came by and got them slick again. So yeah, everybody who didn't have to do much in the snow plowing stuff this year is going to have lots of overtime. We go into 11 o'clock at night, and there's that snow band, starts over Lake Michigan, across the Lansing area, all the way to Buffalo, New York, where they're going to get heavy snows for that playoff football game. It finally breaks down in the afternoon. Now, not the winds, it's still windy. We'll only be in the low teens, so the wind chills will be well below zero, but these snow squalls will come to an end. And Monday, a few lake effect snow showers coming inland. Any cloud cover will help us stay a little bit warmer, but it's just all about the cold. Yeah, lake effect snow showers all next week. So see how the wind gusts die down. Here's 11 o'clock. Because that low's right over us. Give it an hour, it goes off to the east, and there they are again, 35, 38, 43. And the strongest wind gusts, if we're worried about power outages, it's going to be around noon tomorrow. It could be in the mid-40s. And obviously with the snow already laying down, if there's going to be power outages, that would expect that to be the key time with the winds at their gustiest. The winds are still very noticeable through our Saturday night and our Sunday. They're not pushing 40 to 50 anymore, but those winds are still going to create very, very cold wind chills right on through the weekend. And speaking of that, here are the wind chills. Right now it's 21 out there. By morning into the mid-morning hours, we're talking about 8 to 12 degrees. In the afternoon, when the actual air temperature at dinner time is about 18, now we're single digits. Overnight, those wind chills go sub-zero. And there's a little bit of that flow off the lake. So northern sections get a little bit warmer, because if you watch how those wind chills drop 20 below to the south.
I was going to say the
Jackson,
difference between Alma and Hillsdale.
It's just because you're getting the shadow effect of the lake, we call it, getting the extra clouds that have some warmth with them. I don't know about you, but I can't tell the difference between -5 and -16. Cold is cold. So obviously that would be the case. So those wind chills stay, again, everything's below zero all day on Sunday, and we'll have to figure that into the forecast on Monday too. So our evening snows will come to an end here in a few hours. It'll be down to 25 by morning. We get these periods of snow right away, first thing in the morning. That will lay down more accumulation, and then it's gusty winds, snow showers off the lake, down to the teens. Wind chills go below zero, and we'll continue that going into the 7-day forecast. So first alert weather day on Sunday is because there still will be some snow showers in the morning, and there's still those gusty winds, which creates wind chills that could be at advisory levels. Then it's on again, off again, small snow showers. All the snow showers you see Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. It's just certain times of the day. It's not all day. It's typical lake effect. And I put lows below zero because I think we're going to break the clouds open at night. Now, if we can keep the cloud cover, we won't go below zero. We'll be in single digits. But regardless, cold is cold, and be prepared for it because that's going to be around. I think we'll go 10 straight days staying below freezing. The next chance we go above freezing looks to be a week from Tuesday.
So we were talking, I know the whole First Alert weather team was talking about the salt only works in certain temperatures.
Right.
Are we going to get to a point where it's so cold the salt won't work?
Yes, well, some people will go from regular rock salt to maybe a calcium chloride. So they add that in so that it can work at a colder temperature.
Okay.
And there's even potassium and magnesium chloride, but that's expensive to spread. So
Yeah.
not likely that's happening on the roadways. But yes, you're exactly right. We get to a point where they're not going to be putting salt down. I think tomorrow they'll be just scraping and plowing and taking care of, when you get these gusty west winds, any north-south road's going to drift over. So those country north-south roads could have huge drifts by them, and that will be something they'll be attacking. But they won't be putting material down because they know it won't work.
Right, so why waste it in
Exactly.
time if it's not going to work? Jeff wants to know, when do we break out of the cold spell?
It's getting back to the freezing mark. I looked at the long-range models, and it's basically Tuesday of next week. So we get colder again next weekend, but we get more of a westerly flow to get us back into the 30s for a few days. So we're talking about being, the 23rd, 24th of the month when we finally can do it. And I did some research yesterday on the long-range outlook for February.
Yeah.
It stays cold. Okay. Not bitterly cold, but it's not getting back to the really warm weather we just had.
I mean, we've been waiting for it,
Yeah,
so.
a couple of months is all it is.
I remember people asking for that white Christmas, and I'm not sure where they're at now. So.
I could tell with some of the people typing in, they were upset when it wasn't snowing at 3 o'clock at their house because there's a lot of snow lovers. And more importantly, and I feel good about this, that the weather we're getting is there's so many people that make money off of this kind of weather.
Yes.
It would be like selling furnaces and it never got cold.
Right.
Or selling sandwiches, but everybody's on a diet. It just hurts those industries that count on it. Some people don't like it, and glad it wasn't the case, but it's Michigan, and everybody has their niche. And even up north, they're just now getting snowmobile trails. They got to get them groomed, which means they need the heavy snow. They're going to get some decent snows up there, and people can finally go snowmobiling, which means those hotels can finally fill up.
Those restaurants can fill up, everything. Yeah, I know that we've done a couple of stories on some snowplow companies that were just itching for the work. And at the flip side, some of those cities were saving a little bit of money by not having the overtime and the salt and everything like that. What kind of snow is this going to be? Is this going to be like the light, fluffy stuff that's easy to shovel, or is it going to be?
Well, right now it's pretty heavy because when you get snow at 32 or 33 degrees, that's a ratio of 10 to 1. In other words, 1 inch of moisture is 10 inches of snow. So it's really compacted and heavy. Now, when we get to the temperatures in the mid-20s, an inch of moisture would be 15 inches of snow. So it fluffs up. It's a little bit less, but it means a lot of blowing and drifting.
Right.
The snow for the next few hours, still on the heavy side, still the greasy stuff I like to call it, before things will be changing. And again, the visibilities are, if it gets down to a half-mile visibility, it's snowing at 1 inch per hour. It just doesn't stay that way for about maybe 20 minutes, and then it comes back and goes. So, the snowfall totals, I think, are still going to be, most all of us, 6 inches when it's all said and done by the end of Saturday, although it'll be hard to tell because of the blowing and drifting.
I'm going to go back to this really quick. What about school going back on Tuesday? Do you think everything will be cleared up by then?
There are schools that have ratios to the wind chill.
Okay.
In other words, certain temperatures you can't go outside, but in certain cases if there's a wind chill advisory, and I don't see it on Tuesday because the winds won't be very strong, but it doesn't take much of a wind to get wind chills below zero. They may just keep kids inside, no recess.
Right.
But depending on what the superintendents decide, they could call a day for wind chills. I've seen it happen before. It will be certainly very cold on Tuesday. And of course, Monday, nobody's at school, so that is good news.
Right.
An interesting story I got to share with you.
Yeah.
So East Lansing spread brine yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
So they show some pictures on their site, and brine mixture. Some people even use sugar beets.
I've heard of that, yes.
And if you've ever been down in Texas, I was there once for an ice storm, and they have these trucks that look like they should be spreading fertilizer out in the farm fields, and they're just spreading that stuff. So what the brine does, it doesn't melt the snow, but it helps create a layer so the snow doesn't bond to the street as easily. So it'll be interesting to see, talking to the guys in East Lansing after this is done, how that worked out.
Yeah, that'd be really interesting.
It's really fun. When you see the picture, everybody was asking, well, why are there like these lines on the pavement?
So there's Michigan State University.
Yeah, I don't know if they used the brine there or not.
Okay.
It doesn't stop snow from accumulating. It just doesn't create that bind. You know, when you're doing your sidewalk and you can't scrape it clean? Well, if you put brine down, you're going to get more of it to come off than you won't without it. So it'll be interesting to see. Maybe somebody will text us or let us know and see how all that worked out. But I know they experimented with it years ago in Howell. And then Ann Arbor did the sugar beet stuff, and some areas still do that. Down south they do.
Yeah, I know from where I'm from, there's tons of sugar beets out by the Thumb area of Michigan, so that's pretty good
it's
too.
It's very cost effective, and if you can put that down and not use as much salt, that's a good thing.
And does that work better in lower temperatures too?
No, not necessarily, but it's harmless to the runoff. It's harmless to the grass along the edge of the road and all those kind of things.
Okay.
It's just a natural product, so it's not going to do that kill. It's not going to run into our sewers. So it's just not as effective. It's got to be a certain temperature, which it is for that process today. And now we'll wait the results. Maybe East Lansing can tell us how that all worked out.
Yeah, if you have any pictures of that, let us know. You can always go to our website, WILX.com, and then click up here where it says submit photos and videos. I clicked that, right? Yeah, I did. There we go. And you can share with us your weather photos. Let us know where you're at too. That's very important for this. Let us know where it is that you're taking this picture. You can also do it on the First Alert Weather app. There's a spot at the very bottom, if you scroll all the way to the bottom, and you can submit your photos and videos straight from your phone, which is where I think most people are taking their videos anyway.
Right. Yeah.
So that part's really, really easy. And of course, it's a really good thing to have this time of year, really all year round, as this weather gets a little bit more important and severe.
I mean, to be able to go, today's the 12th?
Yes.
To go this far into winter with our first systems, and we start adding more daylight, and eventually, you know, we'll probably be in late February, and we're talking about rain, snow, and that kind of thing, and we'll shake out of it. So, but I'm glad we could share the wealth with the people that have been counting on this, and the people that love snow too. So.
Yeah, I know a lot of kids were pretty excited. They just got back to school, and now they're off again, and they got a long weekend. So
a 4-day weekend.
Yeah, I mean, if you look here, like even some of the dogs are really liking the snow. So I know my mom sent me pictures of our dogs outside, and they're just like that one. They're supposed to be black fur, and you could barely tell what color they were.
I know a lot of people were, well, I don't know, kind of upset that school's closed.
Right.
And I saw the comments, well, it's not even snowing and the kids get a day off. But I think they made the right move, because the snow made the roads really bad at the time when parents would have to go pick somebody up or the bus had to drop somebody off.
They were planning ahead.
And a bus ride in most of mid-Michigan is not 5 minutes. It can go 45 minutes to get everybody dropped off. So as you get deeper into the afternoon, the snow got worse and worse.
Right.
And all you need is one bus to go off the road, and everybody would go, hey, why did those buses be on the road?
Right.
So I think it was a good call. They hadn't used any days. I know it puts a pinch on parents because now they got to make adjustments to their schedule.
And
but we don't want
sports
any.
were canceled. Everything.
Just don't want those accidents. That would be dumb.
Better to be safe than sorry and stuff like this, and that's why we've had all the coverage that we've had all day today, and it's going to continue into the weekend. It's a busy weekend here at News 10. I know that we've got First Alert Weather Days for the next few days. We also have the Lions playing on Sunday, so we're going to have a kickoff special. I thought I had it in here, but I don't know what Taylor did with it.
We do. We have so we have a shortened newscast on Sunday evening at 6 o'clock, and it goes right to sports, and then they have their sports that carries us to 6:30. So they're going to have an extended sports, mainly Lions coverage, and there it is. So after the nightly news, then they'll take up again, and they're going to be on site. Seth will be down there. I think Joey's down there.
Yep.
So they'll be interviewing people and fans, and they're outside in all that minus 18-degree wind chill.
They better bundle up.
And then our plan is to, after the game, whenever that may be, and after the coverage, we'll do another quick newscast, weathercast, and Ann will be here, I'll be here, David will be here, and then it goes back down to Detroit for our sports guys to interview. Hopefully they'll get in the locker room, and hopefully it'll be a win, because then there'll be a lot more people to talk to. But it'll be extended coverage. If you're a Lions fanatic or a sports fanatic, it should be pretty good.
It's going to be a good weekend.
Yeah, and those guys could be down there till 12:30, 1 o'clock.
They could be down there next week. They could be down there until February. We don't know.
Yeah.
We have no idea.
We just need Dallas to lose, and then we can have another home game. So
Perfect.
let's hope.
All right. Well, I'll be back here on Sunday as well. I know it's going to be weird on Sunday when we have everybody here.
Yeah,
It's going to be very weird. But if you guys have any questions, feel free to comment on any of the Facebook posts, and we will do our best to get through those. Of course, if you're joining us live, we thank you. This is exactly why we do this sort of thing, is to give you live updates, extended, that you can't see on air during our newscasts. And, yeah.
Yeah, we'll be updating weather app. So we download that's free, by the way.
Yep, it's free.
And then again, 11 o'clock, we'll be hitting up the weather hard. I think by news time at 11, there may not be much snow around because we talked about how it stops. But when Colton's in the morning, and Darren's going to be in tomorrow morning, there'll be snow picking up again.
Yeah, so we got crazy scheduling here, but we're doing it all so that everybody stays informed and safe. And like I said, if you have any pictures, feel free to send those in. I know we use them here. We use them on our website. You guys use them in the weather. So other than that, yeah, stay safe, everybody. Have a good night. And
yeah, enjoy the warm room that you're in right now.
Yeah, exactly. Thanks for watching, everybody.